So you might be wondering why you are journaling and taking supplements and doing therapy and engaging in all the kinds of self-care. You feel almost exhausted from listening to podcasts and trying to figure out why you're still anxious. And I'm going to explain a little bit of that in today's video. So, hey, my name is Rochelle Walsh. If you're new to me, I've been a complex trauma therapist for more than 25 years, and I coach women in my Joyful and Present 90-day program to overcoming overwhelm. So let's talk about why some of these things, even though they're really good measures to take, might not be getting you the results that you want. So first of all, if you are doing journaling, let's talk about what that might look like. If you're doing journaling, again, a really good thing. Most of us have heard about gratitude journals, and that kind of thing can be very, very helpful. But let's talk about when we are journaling. A lot of times what we're doing is going through the problem in our mind. We're writing about that, or if we're in gratitude, we're writing down the things that we know we have to be grateful for. And yet somehow, if we are stuck in an anxious state or feeling overwhelmed, then we can almost feel guilty because we know on the surface that we have a lot to be thankful for, and yet our body doesn't tend to agree. Or we can be leaning strong into our faith, and we know that God can be trusted, and yet why do we find ourselves waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. ruminating? Or we take the supplements and we do all the things to help with the headaches or the muscle tension or the gut disturbance or autoimmunity, as that normally oftentimes is an end result from anxiety. And yet, so we're doing all the things and we feel stuck. So I'm going to explain a little bit about why. So the stress response, fight or flight, is an inflammatory process. So when your body goes into fight or flight to protect you, again, that's inflammation. And we know that in that part of the brain, that primitive part of the brain, what happens is that our cognitive brain really kind of goes offline. So the insights that come up in therapy, the things that we write down that we know to be true, simply don't help us out-reason an overwhelmed or stress response, because the stress response comes from the amygdala, hypothalamus, and parts of the limbic system. So when we're trying to out-reason it, we can be stuck in this autopilot stress response that's causing inflammation in the nervous system. Now, stress is the #1 predictor of premature death and disease. And so we know that the end result is a lot of health symptoms. So stress, not only can we feel it, we might feel it in our jaw, our gut, our head, our muscles, but it also makes our body less able to protect itself from things that attack it. And in this inflammatory state, it actually starts attacking itself. So while supplements can help with certain symptoms that we have, it doesn't shut off this underlying stress response. The health symptoms are more often a result from the stress response. So in a stressed response, our body becomes reactive. Think about this. Think about in a stress response, lights are brighter, sounds are stronger, smells, foods. When our body is in this stress response, it becomes overreactive to things in the environment. So if we shut that down first, if we work on lowering that stress response as the root cause, then first of all, we're going to be able to sleep better. And our body, that's when it heals. That's when it helps detox our brain. So when we sleep well and when we have lower stress, we're less likely to have dementia and other stress-related physical ailments. But if we address the physical ailments without shutting this off, what happens is we're just going to get into a rabbit hole of chasing one health concern after the other. And the more cognitive work we do, whether that's in therapy, getting insights, which again is valuable. I did in-person therapy for years. I'm not saying it's not valuable. I'm saying if you're doing these things and you're still anxious, it's probably because you have not gotten to the root cause. So whenever we have insights in therapy or we journal something, it has to result in a change in the way we metabolize and respond to both external stressors, whether that's the job or the kids or the financial or political situation, or internal stressors like I'm not doing enough, it's not okay to relax, these internal programs that drive it. So if we work from shutting down the stress response, our body works better. We are more resilient in our, we're less reactive, and we can do all of these things. We can have healthy self-care. We can take supplements because they're good for us. We can journal in gratitude and have it feel true. And we can also be able to just operate our life from a place where we feel like we are responding in a way that's congruent with who we want to be, rather than reactivity or operating from a place of fear or control, or feeling like we are just, exhausted and hamsters on a wheel that can't get off. So those things are really important to remember. We always want to work on the root cause rather than chasing symptoms. Again, my name's Rochelle Walsh. I'd love for you to listen to a video that I have in YouTube on developing parasympathetic nervous system dominance, how to create parasympathetic nervous system response, and listen to my masterclass if you want more information on my approach for helping people go from overwhelmed to calm and confident. So I'll see you in the next video. Stay joyful and present.